Hello, ninth grade. How are you? I hope that all of you are okay. So, last videos we finished our first historical characters. It was Roald What Amundsen's. So, today, inshallah, we're going to start the second character. We argue that, or the first character introduce her as writer, okay, or she's writing novels. كاتبة روايات or روائية. So today inshallah we're going to know more about Jane Austen. As you see here is Jane Austen. So the second character will be John Austen. Who is Jane Austen? I'm sure. Refers to Jane Austen. I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, look to her style of speaking. أسلوبها أسلوب في الكتابة. She looks like a writer. I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, سيداتي وسادتي, that I need no introduction. I don't need an introduction. Introduction, it is noun. What is the verb of introduction? Introduce. This is the verb. Of course, Jane Austen. Let's continue. Who is Jane Austen? Okay, the famous novelist. Famous, which mean well known. Popular also. معروف. Popular. The famous novelist. Novelist, a person who writes what? Novel. روائي. So she is famous novelist. روائية, very popular, جدا مشهورة. When was it born, or when was she born and where? When and where? I was born in Hampshire. This is where. So where was she born? In Hampshire, in the south of England. So she is from England. When? In 1775. My father and elder brother educated me. So, who did educate her? Her father and her elder brother. والدها وأخها الكبير قاموا بتعليمها. By the way, in that time, the girl didn't allow to educate. ما كان مسموح للفتيات بالتعلم. And from an early age, ومن عمر قصير, I was a great reader. So she was a great reader. قارئة شرهة. Yes, great reader. I learned French, spelling, needlework, music, and dancing. So look to her hobbies. Okay, let me ask you, what was Jane Austen interested in early life? So بالعمر القصير, what was Jane Austen interested in? Okay, reading, French, spelling, needlework, music, and dancing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, as my brother Henry said. So what was her brother name? Henry. Jane was fond of dancing and excelled in it. So she was fond مغرمة أو محبة for dancing and excelled in it. It refers to dancing. I have to say I excelled in most things. From the very beginning, my family encouraged me to write. So, who did encourage her? Her family. عائلتها هي التي قامت بتشجيعها. My first published novel was. So, here it is. What is the first novel? The first novel أول رواية was Sense and Sensibility in 1811. So this is the first what novel. This is the name of the first novel. Be careful. The first novel. It was what? Sense and Sensibility in 1811. Bride and Prejudice. Prejudice which mean paradise, الجنة. In 1813. This is another what? So this is novel number 1. This is number 2. I'm sure that if you have read no other novel, you will have read Bride and Prejudice. I have to admit that I wasn't very famous while I lived, but people efficiently, recognize my genius, and today I have millions of fans all over the world. Yes, this is a sad point of view. Why? Because she wasn't famous while he was living. لم تكن معروفة في حياتها. But when she died, she became famous. انشهرت بعد وفاتها. That something very sad. Okay, my novels have been translated into numerous language, numerous which mean huge or عدد هائل, and made into films and TV serials. وبدأت الروايات تحول لمشاهد أو مسلسلات تلفزية أو أفلام. I lived with my parents all my life, and despite working extremely hard on my novels, I found the time to be a great help to them. Them refers to parents. Excellent. Them refers to parents, والديها. I also help poor people. So she helped poor people in the village near my home and taught illiterate which mean illiterate جاهل or أمي which mean a person who can't read or write. الشخص الأمي هو الشخص اللي لا يستطيع لا القراءة ولا الكتابة. So she tried to learn them. حاولت إنها تعلمهم. Boys and girls to read and write. I don't wish to seem immodest, but I must quote George Henry. So she quote a speech from George Henry. This quote says, Lewis, a famous critic and very intelligent man who said that I was the greatest artist that has ever written, and many people agree with him. So, this George Henry, who is George Henry? He is Lewis, a famous critic which means ناقد. Okay, a very intelligent man or رجل ذكي. Smart, another word which intelligent, smart. What he said? Who said that? I refers to Jane Austen. She was what? The greatest artist, أعظم فنانة أو كاتبة that has ever written, and many people agree with him. والكثير منهم what وافقوا الرأي. Who refers to him? لجورج هنري. Let's continue with the last part. Under the circumstance which mean ظروف, condition. Another word which mean conditions, ظروف. Must I be worried that I will not get enough of your votes to stay in the balloon? I think not. Now let me turn my attention to my companions. Now she is talking, or she talked about herself. Here the first paragraph and the second paragraph about herself, عن نفسها. Now she will try to talk about her companions, which mean منافسين, the against, a person who against, or people they are against her. العكسها, companions against, ضد. And begin with Mr. Anderson. Yes, Anderson, which or who talked about her and said she is writing novel, just writing novel, بس إنها بتكتب روايات. Yes, scarcely have I heard anyone as convincing as he is, but he didn't tell you that the whole truth. Okay, هو جدا مقنع, بس he didn't told you the whole truth. ما لم يخبرك إيش الحقيقة كاملة. لم يخبرك الحقيقة كاملة. He got his ship. He refers to, yes, Amundsen. He got his ship, his equipment, and huge sums of money from people. So he sums people, جمع أموال من الناس, to her what? Expedition لرحلته ومغامرته. Who thought he was going to the North Pole, and he told the other people that he will go to the North, but he actually went to the South. Yes, this is two mistakes for Mr. Amundsen. When he heard that two American explorers had already got there, not only did he change his mind, but neither did he tell anyone, not even his crew. Okay, لما صار عنده علم ب two American explore the earth, the explorer had already got there, قرر يغير وجهة نظره, okay, without telling any person or anyone about his new destination, وجهة نظره الجديدة. Even the crew, حتى طاقم السفينة, didn't know where they are or they were going. ما كانوا يعرفوا where they were going. He knew that his backers would not support his expedition to the South Pole, so he just didn't tell them. A fraud and a liar are the only word I can think of describe Mr. Amundsen. Fraud and liar. Okay, those are the two suitable words about Amundsen. The only words I can to describe Mr. Amundsen. Lastly, and what of Wilbur Wright? What exactly did he do for the human race? Okay, he is talking had the last companions, آخر منافس, he is, or Wright brothers. What did he do for the human race? للسباق البشرية. سباق البشرية. Here it is what the achievement. The achievement. الإنجازات for the human being. He gave us the airplane, a form of travel that he result in my death and has polluted the planet. باكتشافه الخطوط الجوية. He what result في هناك كثير موتى, هناك الكثير من الموتى, and there is what pollution, بسبب اختراع الخطوط الجوية. many death الكثير موتى and polluted our planet ولوث كوكبنا. not something I think I would post about. This was everything about Jane Austen. I want you to watch the video, reread the text and think deeply. Did she convince you to vote to her? If yes, why? If no, why? This was our lesson today. I hope so you find it interesting. Please try to write any important notes in order to help you in your study. Thank you. Bye bye.